Kids and cadets, Happy New Year. Glad you're coming out to Tommy Time. Appreciate all your support in 2023. Hopefully 2024 is just as successful. We're going to look at a lot of junk on four wheels. So I recently got 3 mowers and a pressure washer for $55. I've been messing with these fine beauties. Yesterday, I had mentioned Grandpa had reached out to me. I've already sold him one Pulsar style pressure washer for his 2 grandsons, and he messaged me yesterday and wanted to come out. He messaged me at 2. I said I was here working on junk, and he never showed or never called or never did anything. So I wasted time yesterday before he got here. I got these 2 units for him and kind of went through them on my own to see what we needed to do for parts. One of them I know needs a recoil already because this was blown out. So I got another recoil for him. I have the air filter cover for this. One of them needs safety brake cable. I have one, so I kind of put a bunch of junk in a box that I knew he would need. Diaphragm kits and a couple of primer bulbs here. The recoil for the blown out one. 2 air filters and the original air filter cover, and the safety brake cable for that rusty one. So I was just going to charge him $30 for everything. So I'd be losing money with the parts. I paid $10 each, so I got 20 into these turds. And I figured another $10 would cover the cost of some of these parts, and he was a no-show. So that was a bum deal. If he doesn't contact me, I'll just go ahead and fix him on my own, since I got the parts in a box ready to go. So that's that. We had initially looked at this Poulon Pro. It's a 2015. I went through the carburetor on this one, cleaned up the carb, got rid of the gas. This one had the tin foil gas cap, and it was full of water in the tank. So I put a new gas cap on it. I have all the gas caps for these plastic style, and noticed the blade was worn out. It's got a new 21-inch blade. So we did a little fixie fix on this. It started yesterday, and I changed the oil. It's got new oil in it. Let me move you up here on the concrete. This will be a good test 24 hours later. Will this thing start? So basically, I was going to bring you along yesterday, but I didn't want to be in the middle of a video and have him show up. So I waited and waited and waited. So I just fixed all this stuff on my own without your help. I guess I gave you the day off. So that was kind of a pisser. I hate waiting around for people and they don't show. Kind of threw off my video taking for the day. So you're seeing the side effects. Uh-oh, one pull and we don't have anything. So that was a 2-puller that worked out good. Like I said yesterday when we fired this off with Happy Juice, I'll get my money back out of the $55 that I paid for this lot. This will go for $120 even with the metallic paint job here. Somebody had this in their garage and they were probably painting doors or something, and this is all overspray. Originally serviced at Preferred Turf Equipment, Cattleman Road, Sarasota, Florida. It says every customer something custom. I don't know what it says. I can't read the rest of it. 850 Cattleman Road. This was the first one I've ever gotten from Preferred Turf Equipment. Okay, let's move the next turd up. The second machine we looked at in the first video was a Hyper Tough, not a Hyper Tough, powermore. It's just as bad as a Hyper Tough, the powermore. So I went through this thing yesterday without your help, and it's a turd. You remember the blade I showed you on this one, almost to a complete point on both sides. I haven't seen one that's taken this much abuse. So it's the bow tie. I threw another 21-inch bow tie on the Powermore 140cc. This one was low on oil. It did fire off for us. I put oil in it, some junk oil. Got this thing to run. It smoked the neighborhood, so I thought it had potential. I dumped the oil out. I put fresh oil in it and started it another time, and the oil smoke went away after a while, but it took a while for it to clean up, and then it was fairly clean. I wouldn't say it would pass EPA emissions for California. So this one here had a secondary air filter. I haven't come up with anything for this. I have 3 primer bulbs on order for these Powermores. I'm going to change out the primer bulb. This is really soft. The RPMs were high. I went ahead and adjusted the governor tab here to bring the RPMs down. So when I took the carburetor off to clean it in the tank, what I did is I had the tank pouring into this cup, and I noticed it started to pour out pretty good on the fuel, and then all of a sudden it came to a complete stop nearly. So I says, oh, that's an issue. If you're not filling the bowl, this thing's gonna die out. So what I did is took the cap off. I had my high pressure air gun out here, and I blasted some air into this little vent hole, and this whole assembly popped off. And what you'll have in here is a couple of white cloth filters and a bunch of charcoal. So this thing filters the vapor through the charcoal. The charcoal had settled down on the white cloth filter, and kind of blocked the whole assembly here. It was kind of like mud, a mud consistency. So I got rid of all the charcoal in there. I don't know if the EPA is going to come after me or what. I don't recommend you doing that. There's probably a reason for that, but I got rid of the charcoal, and now this hole breathes. So you could probably replace this thing. It's just got the keeper tab on here, and there is some part numbers under here. The 180114001, and then a number under it, 3955. So you guys with these yard machine with the powermore. It's a Zhongchen engine. If you're having issues with fuel flow, check out this carbon um, carbon granules in this cap. They were all wet and clogging up the white cloth filter paper. So I blew out the white filter paper to get air moving, and now we have airflow. I cleaned out the tank, put a little gas in it, let it pour into the container here with fresh gas, and it was a steady stream of fuel with the cap on. There was no vapor lock. So think about that when you got one of these powermore 140 cc's. Okay, there's fuel in it still. I'm going to try priming it. I got enough oil in it. Let's see if this, I think it was a 2018, I remember from yesterday. Yeah, 2018. I think January of 2018 is the build date on this thing. MTD Consumer Group, Zhongchen is the builder. These things have a funny sound when they're running. They sound kind of weird. So they sound kind of clanky and noisy, in my opinion. So it started to clean up here after a while. Did the same thing yesterday after the oil change. I don't have 100% confidence in the powermore. It sounds noisy. So I got to sleep on this thing. The deck is fine. The deck would clean up. I may try to think about changing the engine out or sell this really cheap. Maybe 80 to 100, just blow it out, no guarantee. Maybe it'd last somebody a couple of seasons. They would get their money's worth out of it if they didn't have to hire a lawn service. They give me 80 to 100. If they could get 2 years out of this thing, they're well ahead. So that's that. Now let's wheel in the big guns here. We got the Craftsman 725, the cream of the crop, so to speak. This is a 2015. Sold or serviced at Ace Hardware, South Tamiami Trail, Sarasota, Florida. As I mentioned in the first video, Tamiami Trail is also known as US 41. I think it actually goes to Naples, and Alligator Alley was considered Tamiami Trail. And then it goes all the way north, I think, up into the the mid-states. I think it may even go up to Chicago. You guys that live in the center part of the country can tell me US 41. So we got a new air filter on. That was the deal with this thing. This air filter was so saturated with dirt and oil, it was snuffing out the engine. We had put this on, it started, it was running rough, and then with it off, it ran a little bit better. But you can see how caked up this thing is. Rough shape. So that's that. So I had all four wheels off, greased up the wheels, greased up the front wheel drive, did a carb clean with it, went through the fuel system. Cables were in good shape, not rusty. So what did I do with the blade? I think I just touched up the blade on this one. We just got yeah, I sharpened it up. Yeah, it's the original blade. There's a little surface rust on it. I felt it was the original blade, but I just went ahead and touched it up. So this will be my king of the crop. This is what will bring the money. If I can come up with a bag for it. Kind of looking at this thing. What do I need for a bag? Trying to see. I may have one here. Let me give a quick look. I had Scrapper bring me 3 bags here recently. Maybe one of these is going to work. Maybe not. I got a Craftsman 21-inch here. It says on the bag, oh, it says push 21. So I think we're in luck. Or maybe not. It looked like it was going to work. But no, close, but no cigar. The trap door is not shutting, so it doesn't fit. Oh well, let's continue on with this thing. So we got the Pool-On Pro, which will be the cellar, the yard machine with the powermore. I don't know about that. Like I said, I might try to dump it cheap or get rid of that engine. I think with the low oil level, when we first got that thing, it wouldn't even show on the dipstick. I think it had caused engine damage. This is a 2015, as I recall. Yeah, 2015 on the Crafty. Let's pull on this. Okay, so I'm happy with that one as well. That started. So we're starting the new year off well. We got 2 out of 3 that are ready to go. We got Frontier Airlines is leaving the county. The last thing in that group was this pressure washer. We had determined it was a 2001. So it's a 2300 PSI XL brand, 6 horsepower. So before I got you out of bed, I went ahead and removed the high pressure hose here. When we first looked at this thing, I had water to it and was pulling the trigger. We had no water flow through the machine. So I went ahead and used some channel locks, removed the high pressure hose, turned on my water here, and we had no water through here. So I went and grabbed some tip cleaners. I kind of poked in here. Some white debris started to trickle out, so I poked it some more, like so, turned on the water, and we had a nice stream of water. So our blockage was in the outlet side. So now we can try to start it. I'm confident that we got water going through the pump. I'll turn the water on. We can try starting it just as it is. I'll put some fuel in it. I think we did a fuel sample on this. It was kind of grungy, but there wasn't a lot of fuel in it. So let's fuel this. We may have some luck. I don't know if it was calcium buildup or minerals. Could have been mineral deposits blocking the outflow. Let me grab some fuel. So right away, I got 2 money makers. I can put those in storage, the Crafty and the Poulon, and sell those this May or June. Things really get hopping in June. Hope you're having a good new year so far. Hopefully you didn't get too crazy last night. Maybe you stayed off the road. Like I said before, it's amateur night. People aren't used to drinking. They go out, get crazy, and end up wiping out a van load of nuns. Okay, Southwest is leaving. So let me get a screwdriver. Let's just look at maintenance here on the air filter. I want better maintenance than that. This is a truckload of dirt. This is the engine family 1 Bravo Sam X-ray Sam dot 1901 VF Victor Frank. Clean. Looks like it's a genuine original filter, the 491588 on the part number. Hardly used. Paper's a little bleached out, probably from age. See some brown spots, but that's normal for something this old. 2001, the paper pleats get bleached out. I'll just hand tighten this. We may have to juice this. So I got choke on. I got my idle speed to rabbit. Maybe I'll go down here to turtle. Slow idle, and we got the choke on. So this is the last looky look on this group of 3.5 units, 3 mowers in this thing I call half because it's just got the engine on it. 3.5. How were we with oil? Oh, oil's perfect, maybe a little overfilled. Wow, maybe they used this thing one time and the pump outlet goobered up. Okay, let me get some water flowing through here, a little trickle of water. Just to keep that pump wet and cool. So maybe I'll hear from Grandpa today, or maybe he decided he doesn't want to mess with engines anymore. I'll put the choke off, see if that helps. Didn't help. It's about 65 today, so that's kind of cool for these small engines. We needed to choke it and it didn't help. Who's leaving? It looked like AVEO. I think that's a small budget airline. It was hard to tell. Their lettering wasn't good when you got small budget. They do small lettering. Okay, that was a good shot. Let's go to the ho-ho. Okay, we got a Champion J19LM. That's the right plug. Are we out of happy juice? That was a poor shot of juice. I think it was mostly propellant. I gotta make it gushy, wet and gushy with a new can. Okay, if it doesn't do anything now, we got something else going on. This thing doesn't have an on and off switch, does it? No, it doesn't, because the speed control has to stop, so that's going to go over, and there's probably a kill wire in that position. It'll kill the coil. Let me back the throttle down to turtle. Put it on full choke again. Okay, it kicked off. Okay. So it kicked off and ran. Maybe I took the choke off a little bit too quickly. It hadn't heated up. Let me try it again without juicing it. It's probably a carb issue. It didn't want to start on its own. We'll give it another shot and see if it starts. Okay, it just needed some help. I just blasted a hole in my yard here. So we're going to get serious, and I'm going to turn the water off, put the hose back on it. We may have a runner and a gunner here. So this thing might be another home run. We may be looking at a good start to the new year. Let me get some channel locks, put that high pressure hose back on. Maybe we'll blast a little bit of my sidewalk here, do a little Tommy work. Okay, the O-ring's missing here on the high pressure side. I have some O-ring kits. I can find another black O-ring for this. So this thing's gonna leak once I put this on. But just for testing purposes, I want to see if the high pressure hose is blocked up, or is the wand blocked up with that same calcium buildup. So somebody's taken this thing off numerous times. The plastic here is all chewed up. I'm just going to tighten it gently, and I'll turn the water back on. It should flow through here like I've mentioned. Once the water's on, it should flow through. And I'm pulling the trigger. It's making noise, but nothing's coming out of the end of it. I heard some air pressure come through. Water's on. Nothing. So let me turn the water off. We'll start disassembling the wand and see where the blockage is. I'll take off the metal part of the wand here. It says on and off. Which way is the arrow pointing? I'll try the brass coupling. I don't know why this thing isn't moving. right tool for the right job, which this isn't it. All I'm doing is chewing up the brass, so that was a failure. Let's come up here to the end of the hose and see if we can get this off. See if the blockage is down here. Okay, this one here loosened up. Since I got it off here, I'll go ahead and change out the see the little black O-ring. I'll change that out too. Got some rust. They left the water sit in the hose here. Brass won't rust, but that metal does right there. I got to clean that up. So let me turn on the water and we're going to see if we got a jet blast here. And we do, so our blockage is somewhere in the handle. You know what? I got my compressed air gun here. Why don't we try blasting a little compressed air through that wand? Maybe we can shake something through. Maybe I'll blast this in. I got to turn my compressor on. Okay, I'm pulling the trigger and blasting some air through here. Okay, I see some issues. There's a bunch of rust right there in the opening. Can you see that? Probably the rust from that metal fitting. I'm going to get my poker and poke that through. That might be our issue. Do a little pokey, let the rust fall out. Gravity would work for us here. Poke it in. Try some compressed air now. It doesn't help that I only got 10 pounds of PSI coming through. So let's reassemble it. Maybe the high pressure will blast it all the way through. I'll come back and do O-rings. I just want to start it and see if this thing's going to go up for sale today. Okay, let me get organized. Okay, it's not coming through the tip, but I'm going to try to start it and see if it blasts through. So I got the wand in the open position and I'm going to start it. Okay. I don't have to choke it, it's warm enough. So whatever it was, it blasted through. Okay, let me baby this thing. Maybe I'll go half choke. No, it's stalled out. Okay, I'll go to run, and I'll put it up to rabbit speed. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. Just as a precaution, I'm going to go ahead and just clean the carburetor and start over again. You can see we're leaking down here because there's no O-ring. I'm going to turn my water off. So I've wasted enough of your time on the first day of the year. So we're all looking good. Glad we got pressure on the pump. That was a good $10 find. Some O-rings, and I'll advertise this for $150. And then powermore's questionable. Pull-on runs great. And this Craftsman, it's not a turd. I just set that there. This 725 is a great machine. On these charcoal filters, you guys, check that charcoal. It gets all wet and turns into mud. It comes out of the granule form. It kind of makes it a muddy black mess, and it plugs up the white cloth filter underneath it. So get rid of that crap in there, but don't tell them I said so. I'll give you a disclaimer. Replace the cap as necessary. Don't take the charcoal out. How's that? Doing so is at your own risk, and EPA violations are on you. I don't recommend doing that at home. Replace the cap. There you go. I just saved myself. You guys have a good new year. Hope you're having a good one now. Have a good year in general. And again, I appreciate you coming out to Tommy Time, checking out my channel. Appreciate all your comments below. They help me out when I'm working on a lot of this stuff and I don't know what I'm doing. You guys are the experts. I'm just the labor force, shade tree mechanic, backyard mechanic. Have a good one. Thanks again. Tip your waitress and wait staff. That's what I'm saying. Keep moving. Over and out. We're going to have a great year. We're going to have a great year, everyone. Don't get bit.